Heyo, welcome to OmniDog's Book Club with OmniDog and Larry from Larry's Library. Larry, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good, good. And
Cool.
the first thing I said to Larry was I apologize for being late because I'm always late to everything. And then we noticed Cycle Cleveland has been in the chat since like 1:40. And Cycle, what are you up to in this?
Just on a complete tear here.
Keeping two book club notes. Oh, he's still on a tear for keeping two. Classic anosmia issue, lack of organization. I'm going to highlight everything that Cycle Cleveland put in because I think he's a riot. Helping your dad with something, and I decided to make a bunch of hard-boiled eggs of the week. So I got the eggs in the pan, and I went to play some guitar while they cooked. Make the fatal error not setting a timer. After I don't know how long, I heard a long bang. Thought it was the wind blowing something around outside because my building has this metal sheathing thing that flaps. Do you have nobody to talk to but us, Cleveland? You're telling us all this?
Okay, it's like a diary for him here, I think.
In for a buck, in for a bundle. So I'm going to keep going. After the third bang, I knew something was up, and then it hit me. The eggs. Rushed into the kitchen to see the water. Had completely boiled off, and now the eggs were exploding.
Sounds like something I do.
I'm sure this had a horrific accompanying smell. Oh, right. He can't smell. He doesn't have a sense of smell, we found out last night. Would I have smelled the water boiling? Is there smell with that? And so then he and Rick Ray get into a discussion about keeping two, the book cycle wish that we had. And so I don't want to ruin it for everybody else, but here is all beep, 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 beep. So they're talking a lot, cycling. Here's James wondering what's going on. But yeah, we found out last night that Cycle didn't have a sense of smell. He does somehow have a sense of taste, but he doesn't really have a sense of smell. So he couldn't smell that the eggs were exploding in the kitchen. Okay, keeping two. Here's Carly. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you, Carly. Damn, if I knew you guys could see the chat comments from that far back, I would have put my whole keeping two thoughts. Oh, and the collectors had fierce wind. Lord Tapman's here. I should also say this is the second time this egg thing has happened in the last couple of months, and I don't want to admit to anyone else I've done it again.
He didn't get enough egg talk from last night. That's what it is.
Well, it was his. I agree with this. If only Harvey Picar was still alive, he could make a comic book out of Cycle Cleveland, since he used to live in Cleveland also. Smoke'em's there for Cycle. Marcelo's here. Yeah, he said the comic book. And here's Kenny. So I don't know if Cycle's here or not, but once burned, twice shy. Don't you think if you've burned the eggs in the pot, you'd notice at a time? Well, I don't know. I do dumb things 2 times in a row, and sometimes I still do dumb things. So I guess I can see this happening, but
it happens.
Yeah, it happens. And this isn't a therapy session at Cycle Cleveland. We're talking about Scurry. Scurry, which I have.
Got the slipcase. I have them without the slipcase, but
without the slipcase. Okay.
Yeah.
And I did get not original. I got a print with, I think, number 3. I think number 1 is a reprint. Let's see, because I don't think this one's signed. Oh, it is signed. Oh, it's a free. Oh, they're all first edition signed. Wait.
Yeah, mine has the the book plate sticker in there.
Show that and let Cycle go here for a sec. Yeah, I do have that.
Yeah.
So I paid. For some reason, I always like slipcases, although it's really kind of a waste of money.
Well, yeah, it does make it easier to deal with on the shelf, though.
And it looks cool.
Yeah.
And I did notice in book 3 that I went back to the this. I'll have to see if I can show everybody. I went back to the thank yous.
Yeah, I seen that.
And let's see. Here it is. Let's see if we can see properly. Because it goes. Wait.
I see it. Yep, OmniDog.
And right at 2 names above me. It's very fine condition.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see that?
Yep.
Very fine condition is 2 names above me, and we were wondering who.
I think Kristen's in there too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure she must be. Kristen. Let's see.
I saw
Comic
it before.
Slayer. Robert. Wait. Oh, this is by first name is how they have it. I saw Omnibuddy in there. Don't use his code. Use my code. Whoops, sorry. There we go. That's right. Organic Price Books. Don't use Omnibuddy. Use OmniDog. And OmniDog ship it together at Organic Price Books.
See, technically, these aren't my copies. These are my wife's.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And so, wait, where's Kristen? Kristen Robertson. There she is.
Yeah.
And now, is your wife in here or are you in there?
No, neither. We got it much later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if I'm, first of all, I realize this is self-indulgent. Sorry. But, I meant to get all the books. The reason I got in that was to show Omar and I were being separated by somebody with a very unusual name, Ombeline. Ombeline, if you're out there, contact us. We want to know who you are. Ombeline is between me and Omar. Carly says, just I've owned Scurry for years and haven't read it, so thank you for finally getting me to read it. Good job, Carly. Uh-oh. You forgot to read it? I just missed out on that discounted Superman Batman Omnibus Volume 2. I kept putting it off. Oh, here's Miriam. Hi, friends. I didn't do the homework, but want to be surrounded with good company. Well, it's still, I don't think we're going to spoil it for you, even though we're going to tell the story. And I'm still hot and sweaty from my shower, which I took 2 seconds ago. I think what we're going to get is what everybody's opinion, and we'll talk about it. I have a feeling this book will be more popular than last month's book. Do you think?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Darth Fred says, hi, everyone. Curious to hear about Scurry. Seems like a fantastic book. I'm currently on a crisis marathon reading 52 after Crisis on Infinite Earths and Infinite Crisis for the first time. Man, that's a chunk of reading. Good for you, Fred. Yeah. Whoa. I still regret my whole pre-show Gonzo review of My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies. Oh, it's forever lost of time because it was really great and all at the top of my head, so I don't have notes.
You should just pop those into, a file before he.
I do remember that because as soon as the show starts, I think you see on the replay is the comments from like when the show starts.
Yeah, it cuts everything off before.
And I do remember that. I told him to send me, because he did have a Gonzo review and it was all really cool on My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies, which is my favorite Brubaker story. And it was lost because he didn't keep the notes and it was all off the top of his head. Right. Here's Crazed. I have the same ones later. I was able to get some of the last ones after Jess and Kristen's review. Awesome. James's name is in here also. Is this still 3? Yeah. Okay. Since James has always done such great work for us, or for me, and we should probably, and for everybody, yeah, for Kristen too. Let's see, James Abel right there underneath James Doomsayer Hines, and right before James Alexander. So, yep. Hey, Chris. My dad wouldn't have read this without my encouragement. There's the daughter.
I was waiting for that. Yeah.
I wish I could blame these fiascos. We're still following Cycle's tragicomedy.
That's why his heroes have always been junkies. So.
I didn't know the whole thing was available online for free. Oh, is Scurry available online for free?
I don't
Is that
think
what
I
you're
knew
saying?
that either.
I didn't know that. Mr. Tex. Hello, I'm late. I don't have Scurry, but I'm curious to learn. Good. Rick agrees. Scurry better than Callie.
Well, wider appeal.
See, yeah. And I think that what Kristen felt Callie lacked, like a depth of characterization, character progression, things like that.
Better world definition.
Yeah. Scurry has a lot of, and Gonzo Review.
Sort of stream of consciousness, I guess.
Yeah. Larry's right. It's a stream of consciousness. He reviewed and actually it was a really good review. I'm sorry we lost it. Before I don't remember the circumstances, but it was a live stream. Maybe it was a Batter Days. I can't remember what, but I feel like it was 2 years ago. And Cycle had like 2 hours. I'm not kidding. He had bullet points, like bullet points 1 through 25 on what his thoughts were on My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies. And they were good points. It was a good review, and it's lost to time now because once the show started, it wiped them all out. Is it only 360 pages or 1 volume? I'm going to read it on Hoopla. I think only 1 volume. I think Rick might be right. I believe Image put it out in a smaller trade, and that it's all in 1 volume.
Yeah, I added the 3 together, and I got like 368. But that might be counting the end pages and all that. Yeah.
There's a teat. How's it going? Yeah, they did have a lot of end pages and drawings and renderings, and those thank yous that I just showed everybody afterward. And I think, I am. It was the Parker book. Yeah, I remember it was the Parker book. That was last year. Sorry, Cycle. You have so many Gonzo reviews going on about eggs boiling and everything that I can't keep it straight. I think it's all 1 book. The trade is, and I think it's almost digest sized.
Yeah, I think it's a little shorter trim than standard.
Because I bet they're going for the scholastic market with this. I feel like this is a middle school. This is okay for middle schoolers. I haven't had a middle schooler in a long time, but anything really bad that happens is usually off.
Yeah, I think it's all ages. I think that's fair to.
Okay, so you think grade school would be okay too?
I think so.
Okay. Chris has the Image reprint. Is about 336 pages.
They must cut a little bit of the extras then, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And I would say that since you think it's all ages, and I think it's, I think it's fine. My point is, Squirrel Girl and Moon Girl are wildly popular with Scholastic, so I wouldn't be surprised if they made a conscious decision to make this Scholastic sized as a paperback so they could go after that market. I love Moon Girl.
Is Scholastic ordering through the schools? Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Because I remember doing that when I was in like 3rd grade, and I loved it. It was awesome. They had a few comics in there,
Yeah, it's rated 8+ middle grade. Okay, thank you. I just checked. The Hoopla volume is the entire thing. Okay, thank you, Carly. Thank you, my lovely wife, for bringing me my drink.
You got it.
Do you want to see what she looks like? Oh. Yep. I used to love, especially in third grade, getting that box of Scholastic.
Yeah.
It's just like getting a box from OPB or IST or anything else. It's all books. I loved getting those books from Scholastic. And yeah, I talked to Very Fine Condition about Scholastic because his girls get a lot of books, obviously, from Scholastic. And that's where Moon Girl and Squirrel Girl have found a lot of popularity, is in the Scholastic set.
I got a Frankenstein, well, really, it was a mini graphic novel from Scholastic when I was in like third grade, and I've not seen that thing anywhere since. I mean, I still have it. It's really cool.
Whoa, that is cool. Yeah. Here's Matthew. How's it going? OmniDog and OmniCat Dad. It's available on Mac Smith's website for free. Just search for it. And that's the emoticon with like, what does that ever mean when Scholastic is a book service for schools in the US where you pay for, well, I don't even remember. My parents just did it for me.
When I did it, they would give you like a catalog and you take it home and fill out the form and for everything you wanted and get your parents to write a check and bring that back.
Okay, that sounds right. Yeah, my childhood was a long time ago, but I remember being 8 and being happy to get those books. And I feel like they're subsidized and sort of at a discount. So you get them cheaper than you could on someplace else. Scurry is one of my all-time favorite web comics. And here's the link for Scurry. And here's how to Google Scholastic Book Fairs. And Very Fine Condition is messaging me, so I'll tell him I'm on the air about Scurry. I should get him on the air, but I know he's not drunk yet, so it wouldn't be any fun. I'm on the air doing a book club of Scurry! ! And that's where our names are from. If I knew he was drunk, I'd get him on the phone, but I think he's sober. Do whatever you need to, Cycle. When did Scurry come out? I've never heard of it. This first book, that's a good question. I feel like Kristen and I talked about it. We did a review of it when? 2019, Kristen? Or was it earlier than that? First printing 2016? Well, I didn't even have a channel then, so it must have been like 2018.
Yeah, and then I didn't get it till I guess last year.
Okay,
early last year maybe.
But you still got these fancy ones.
Yep. I must have got in on the last bit of it,
Okay. So I know Kristen told me about it after the first. I do not think I was in on the first one because I definitely wasn't in on the first one. I don't have my name on the first one, but
yeah, and I bought it from his website. The Kickstarter was long over, when I got it. But
you think VF Condition is drunk now? It took him 5 years to write, and it's a web comic. It existed before the printings. You and your web comics, Comic Slayer. So let's try and get into. I do have a slideshow that Larry nicely gave to me, and let's see if I can do it without messing things up. Here's Rob. I haven't seen you in a long time, Rob. How's it going? And let's see. Slides. There's the first one. And the first thing you notice, and I didn't give my opinion or anything on Callie last time. I let everybody just kind of go.
Yeah.
But I will go ahead and say that I loved this book. The art is fabulous, in my opinion. It's all in my opinion. But it's my show, so
I don't know how anyone could dispute that, really. I mean,
yeah, the art's fantastic. It's compelling. It's exciting. You can feel the tension. You can feel the excitement. You can see what's going on through all the art. Let's see. Wait. And it is a great story with sentient mice. It's based after the nuclear war apocalypse that you read into the story you learn in the third book when they meet a friendly possum who describes the fire wolf in the sky devouring all the buildings and people after the people sent missiles to the stars and the stars fired back. So there's no more humanity, and there is the nuclear winter above. And the prophecy is that the guardian of the forest, because it's just these mice foraging for food, and they have their natural predators out there, but as I said, they make friends with a possum and other creatures, but not only are there other creatures out there that are after the mice, because they are pretty much the bottom of the food chain, there are elements within the mice colony that are power hungry, and they want to take down the mice too.
I think once you experience something like this, you're totally spoiled to the backgrounds being completely, absolutely rendered. You know, I mean, any kind of lazy art where the backgrounds are just blank,
yeah,
you're just like, wow, you know.
Yeah. And let me add another one here. And that's part 2. I mean, this guy's art is really remarkable.
Yeah.
He and so he's, and as you said earlier, it's got the world building in it that the other book lacked, and it's like its own ecosystem because of what man has left behind. The animals and forest and fauna and flora and everything are moving in on what mankind used to have going on in like the cities and the suburbs. Mm-hmm. So the mice run out of food because they ate what the humans threw away.
But what it reminds me of a little bit is because of their size, especially the scenes inside, like the basement area. It reminds me of Incredible Shrinking Man. You know how when he was in the basement and the matchstick and all that, that was a whole world, you know, for him.
Did you ever see Land of the Giants?
I probably have. I can't remember exactly.
I feel like that was on around.
I remember that name though.
Yeah, I remember. I feel like that was in 1968. It was after Fantastic Voyage, which is the first place I ever saw Raquel Welch in that movie, which was like 1966, I think. But Land of the Giants, they get they're space explorers, and they end up landing on a planet where everything's giant size. It's like Earth, but everybody's giant. So they're always going around with these giant matches or using weapons against these giant ants, like a safety pin. So I'm sure now looking back on it, it'd be really cheesy, but it was scary as a kid.
Yeah.
He said he was inspired by 80s stuff like the Rats of Nim, and you can definitely see it. Oh, Land of the Giants? Oh, that's funny. This book was like an even better mouse guard. Comic book report here. Love the look of this art. Yeah. Here's a good point. His ability to portray emotion was fantastic and one of my favorite aspects. Right. Especially on animal faces. Also, the foxes are definitely the best characters. The sisters. Yeah, let's see. I know I can get I don't know. Did you load any pictures of the sisters?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I went over the end of the book several times today. So I know I have some sister pictures that I can show at least without spoiling it. The sisters are the foxes who
they're like witches.
Yeah, right? They're like witches, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me take this off, and then I will highlight here, and it'll just show you what one of the fox sisters looks like. And they're able to communicate with each other, and yeah, they're witches that have predicted. Oh, here's a really good. Wait, where are we? Here we go. They predict what's happening in the with the waking of the guardian once the main wolf is gone, which they call they call it something, the end of the night, when the evening is gone, when the wolf is dead, whatever. The wolves are bad.
Yeah.
But there's a friendly moose, there's friendly possum, the deer friendly. And I don't want to get too close to the ending. I know I just showed a picture from the ending because it's really it's a very hopeful ending given that the mice are running around so much trying to forage for food and try not to be food themselves. It's actually a very hopeful ending. I'm sorry, William, but I had this to do today. The double spreads are especially beautiful. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is probably even a better example. I did that ride or show at Disney World, and at the very end, I think this was back when Kelly was little, so it's back in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was an interactive movie thing you sat in, and then at the very end, the cat sticks its nose out and sneezes, and everybody's sprayed with water. It was really funny. Happy Sunday, Jesse. Oh, what a great avatar. So what did you think about it, Larry? What were your thoughts on it?
Well, after I seen you and Kristen review it a couple different times, I think, I wasn't really sold on it for a book for me, but I immediately was like, okay, this is something my wife will love. So, I'll get it for her, and I'll look at it, but I didn't think I would read it, I guess because there was no strong like fantasy element or sci-fi or, and, I was totally wrong because once I started looking at it, you guys showed the art a little, but once you have the book in your hand and you see that gorgeous art, yeah, and then you start reading it, it just pulls you straight through.
It's happy to be wrong about something like that.
Yeah.
And not think a book's going to be great and you're wrong and it's awful. It's much better to be surprised at how great a book is.
Yeah.
So let's show some more of that art. This is our protagonist, not Picked. What was this guy's name? I forgot. Picked was the girl mouse. This was like Mix, or what's his name? Cats. Oh, you get all the concepts here. Wix. That's right. This is Wix. Because you can see he's got in the middle panel, a cat got him in a close encounter and thwicked out a bit of his ear. And he's the best scout and the best escaper. He's the most nimble. So he's a great scout. And he got thwacked with that's his only scar, so to speak, is a little piece of his ear missing.
And he maintains that continuity throughout every panel, as far as the look of the ear and
Crazed said, I think he did a really good job of balancing all the drama with subtle humor as well. I thought so too.
Yeah.
Daniel has a 5-parter going, so we'll I'll wait till he's done to start. Okay, he's almost done. So let's start on what Real Big Cohen says. Fun adventure story and art was interesting. The art may have been a little too digitized for me as it looked a little AI-ish, as we've seen recently with the critiques of AI art. Love Scurry, though, 9 out of 10. My major complaint was the presentation of the book was rather poor. For as big as deluxes are to standard size, this was small compared to regular standard size. Okay, so that he's talking about.
He's talking about the trade paperback, I guess.
Yeah, and I understand that because
Yeah, it's a shame they did that. Really, I mean, I get they're trying to go for the market, but this deserves this size, you know.
Yeah, and that's only my supposition. I'm only saying maybe they went smaller, like Strange Academy did with those digest size books, and Wind because they were going for the scholastic market. Otherwise, why would you shrink down the art? I don't disagree with what Daniel's saying.
Unless it was to bring that price point down, you know.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Because it is pretty inexpensive for what you're getting. I mean, it's a lot of pages.
Story really deserves to be at least standard size. I wish they'd put the map in the back of the book as I perused it before. And it did spoil some moments, characters for the story. At the end, do we think the foxes and bear are in cahoots or just the foxes? The wording that they used near the end made it seem like possibly the bear could be involved. I look forward to the sequel, and I'll have to support on Kickstarter for bigger presentation. Hopefully we'll get reprints of the bigger size too. And now I'll cuddle with my dog. Good luck to him in the apocalypse. Well, but your point is well taken, Daniel, that that it's such gorgeous art, and there should have been a way. I don't know. It feels like there could have been a way with Image to make it a standard size book. You'd think.
Well, Phantom Fool, the last comment there at 237.
Yeah.
237. That's what I was hoping, was that since, you know, a large publisher's involved now, maybe, you know, we'll get a all-in-one oversized hardcover if that sells good enough, I guess, at this size now.
Yeah. And I will say this to me, and I think Kristen will probably agree, since she and I are both Kickstarter people, this is what I want to back on Kickstarter, not something from Boom or DC or Image or Marvel or something. This independent guy with the great presentation and the great art and the great story and the oversized book. It came with prints and it came with stickers, and that's it. And that's all I want. I don't need a ball. I don't need a coin. I don't need a bunch of other crap. I just stickers is great, and a couple of prints. I loved it.
Or like Kristen said, bookmarks. I will take bookmarks.
Oh yeah.
So
I think, did bookmarks come with this? I feel like they might have.
Well, I didn't get the Kickstarter, but mine did not. So
it's possible if it did come with bookmarks that I've used them and they're somewhere around the house right now. So I'm happy to listen to anybody else's feelings on Scurry, because we have a positive feeling about this book, because I think generally we thought it was well written, well drawn.
Yeah, I just don't have any complaints about it. For me, it's 10-10, you know, it's 10 out of 10.
I agree with that. I feel like maybe the people now, since I haven't seen the trade, I feel like maybe the people that didn't get it in oversized didn't have the same experience maybe that we did, because as Daniel said, story deserves to be at least standard size.
Yeah.
And the presentation of the book was rather poor. I will say that it looks like the foxes and the bear at the end, to me, because of what the foxes say at the end. The Guardian told them to leave the mice alone until there were more of them
to get the balance back.
Yeah. Because at the very end, well, I don't want to, I'm not going to spoil it, but that's part of the fun of the ending is where everything happened. But I think, the Guardian,
feel like there could be a sequel very easily.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, because you assume there's no humans, but who's to say there aren't some somewhere?
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, maybe the nuclear winter was a little easy to guess. Reason overused for the apocalypse, so there aren't many reasons for the apocalypse.
I thought it was subtle enough that it, with the clouds and the imagery that they, but
I didn't actually figure it out until the possum. I don't feel like they went over it as much until the possum told the story.
Yeah, I didn't get it right away either. I mean,
yeah, I hadn't clued into the fact there were no humans, obviously, but I hadn't put it together that the nuclear winter had blocked out the sun, and that's why there were so many issues.
Marcelo's got a multi-part here.
I do see that. Scurry is a very interesting book. Superficially, his story is a typical children's book, but I found it to be more than that. It's not just about the heroism of the protagonist. There's politics, corruption, betrayal, and lots of symbolism, which makes the story a lot more compelling. Characters are very typical, but lovely nonetheless. The art is gorgeous. Those covers, that evil fire cap, but I had to get used to it because I found it a bit blurry at first. It could have been just, it sounds like because the print quality.
That's too bad.
That is too bad. Overall, great story, amazing art, quick and easy read. I enjoyed the book a lot. Very recommended. 5 stars. Nice. Totally agree. It didn't seem to need the post-apocalyptic element. No love for poker chips. These aren't poker chips, man. The things Kristen and I get are these heavy metal coins. There's nothing to do with them except throw them away. Or somebody said they sell them on eBay, but I'm not going to charge somebody. I'll charge somebody for a book, but if you want these coins, you can have them. It's too late. I already threw them all away, but and now you're just adding them to the waste stream. So I'd give it a 9 out of 10. The story was predictable, but very well told. And I love the art. Yeah. The Firewolf was really cool.
Yeah.
Overused maybe, but I agree with Larry. I think the way it was revealed was well done with the wolves imagery. Yeah. Especially like the Firewolf and stuff.
And, when they went on and tried to find more food and got in that, what was a semi-trailer at one point, I really kept expecting we're going to see a human pop up somewhere. Didn't you? I mean, I did not guess there would be none in the whole thing,
I didn't. I actually felt once I saw this cover with the human skull, I figured humanity was kind of out of it. But then
I guess I've watched so much Walking Dead, I kind of just expected some ragtag band of humans to pop up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And not only is there a fire fox, but fire wolf. There's a fire cat, which is on the cover of this one, which is actually a pretty scary moment. Let's see. Mac Smith's website talks about the custom smudge tool he uses. So I think the slight blue is intentional. I thought it made motion look really cool. Also, the portrait-like look of some of the panels.
Yeah, I was just stunned by the whole thing.
There were discussion questions in the back of the book, though. I could list them out here if we'd like, if it's not in your copies. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything like that.
Now, that definitely sounds like a scholastic thing. Yeah, tell us what those questions are. We got breakdowns and then thank yous.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't think anything like that is in here.
Yeah, no, I don't see any of that. Yeah, Daniel, if you'd like to print those out, that'd be good because I'm sure it must. Yep, can't lie. Well, I understand the stretch goals can be ridiculous if not unnecessary. Oh, that was the poker chip one. Yeah. Yep, can't lie. The wolf imagery was badass. The discussion questions seemed like they were definitely aimed at like middle school. Okay.
Well, I hope that works for him.
Do the hardcovers have the little prequel story with the dog?
No, mine doesn't.
I don't think so. Prequel story. What is the prequel at the big? Well, prequel tells me it's at the beginning, but
I don't remember that.
It just starts out with
yeah, we're going right into the cat and mouse.
Yeah, right into the cat and mouse thing. And ooh, yeah, there is one scary image with a mouse trap and green cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Drew. Hey, how's it going, Drew? Can't stay super long, but just wanted to thank you for recommending Scurry to everyone. Just turned out to be a favorite of mine. Good. I'm glad you liked it, Drew. I haven't talked to you in a long time. I don't know.
I think he's done a bunch of was it game development maybe or animation,
Oh, okay.
something like that. If you go on his website or his YouTube channel, he has some process videos on there too. It's pretty cool.
Carly didn't see any prequel in her hardcover version.
Yeah, that
So
must be something he's added just for this.
For the
trade.
Prequels at the end of the trade. Didn't say it was unique to the trade. I don't have a copy in front of me. I think it's not even on the website. Okay, I haven't seen that.
Now, see that makes me want to spend $15 to get the trade a little bit, even for me. But
even for the, it's a small prequel story, like 5 pages.
So what is this on IS or on IST or OPV? It's not even, what is it, $12 or something?
I feel like it's even cheaper than that.
Yeah.
I think the list price is like $14.
Yeah. So you know what? 5 more pages might be worth $8 or $9 for me. I don't know.
Yeah, for the prequel, and then the question. Oh, it's like 12. It's 12 pages.
Oh.
The prequel. Oh,
I'm gonna have to order it now.
Yeah.
Just to be a completist,
Yeah. Let's see. What am I at? 2. Then we have 2 more things to show. Here's some more of the art. There's Pict and Wix. And I can show one more that Larry helps with. Thank you very much for this, Larry. Oops, why didn't it go up?
Should be 6, I think, altogether.
Oh, okay. And there you see the moose and the wolves. Moose and the wolves. Okay. So I wonder if that's cool. I wonder if he smudged some of this digitally or something.
It's just magical to me. I mean, look at this. We've got backgrounds, foregrounds, detail in all of it.
Yeah. Things in focus, things out of focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't care if it's digital or not. It's a really cool presentation. So
Yeah,
that's all I care about.
I'm for it. So,
yeah, same.
Yep. Chris Brogan says 869 on IST.
Okay. Prequel shows how the mice ended up at the house they start at on the first place. They start at a different house where they meet a dog.
I want to see that.
Who were your favorite non-mice characters? Love the moose and foxes. Yeah. And I love the possum too.
Yeah.
Who are yours, Larry?
Well, let's see. Well, probably one is the one I probably should name, the kind of big reveal one.
Okay, the big one at the end.
And the moose, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a question. What was the scariest character? Like the wolves and the cats, and then there's the hawk in the sky. Are those scarier than the traitor in your midst? Like the mice that were
That's a good question.
Secret rebellion.
I think the environment was the scariest for me. Just the nuclear sky and the fire and
especially how the possum described it.
Yeah.
So in the chat, who do you think was the scariest? The traitors in the midst of the mice, or the environment, or the cats, or the wolves, or the hawk in the sky?
The hawk was pretty scary though, because I mean, what do you do with that? You can't evade it. It's just.
Yeah, Skoga was the big tortoise. Is that Craze Cassowary? Was Skoga the big tortoise? I think from the second book. The story implied Wix came from the woods or something, so I hope Matt goes into his backstory at some point.
Yeah.
I can't. Just a sec. Okay, let me go into the. I feel like the tortoise was in the second book. Oh, there's a snake. I forgot about that. the snake with him on a rubber ducky.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. I'm just trying to. That's where the sisters. Yeah, the sisters. That's the second story. The second book is big on the sisters and the moose. Oh, and then there's the. That's a pretty serious looking snake. I forgot about that. That is a really serious looking snake. Where's the refugees, the witches, the wolves, King Shunk, Minka Flick, new characters. Where's the oh yeah, Skog is the big ancient snapper turtle. I think the hawk, because you could get caught anywhere. I think the ravens, they were undermining everything from within.
Yeah.
Having seen a lot of videos of mice eaten by snakes, maybe that snake was serious looking. Okay, yeah, it was the tortoise. Is Erebus an homage to Cerebus? I don't know. Anyone know what else that could mean? I don't know the connection between those two. That's a good question.
The whole thing reminded me a little bit of Rikki Tikki Tavi.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is way better art, really. I mean, it's realistic, but watching that as a little kid, I remember it being really exciting and a little scary at times, you know, that.
I didn't quite understand who the ravens were working for. Have we seen the dark one or whatever the name is? I think the dark one was the wolf. He was the shadow. And once the shadow was gone, that's when the guardian could rise again.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Max Smith said he really tried to make the villains much more realistic than the other characters. That snake that I just looked at was ridiculously scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, mice are their favorite food. Yeah, so does anybody else have any interesting comments? And I think we all feel like we really enjoyed it. I felt it like there were some comparisons saying some people said it was sort of typical characters or typical plot, but raised up a notch. Sort of. This was like I felt like maybe since I haven't read a lot of like Watership Down or any stories like that with sentient animals, I think that I may have felt these characters were more interesting to me maybe than others who said like this was kind of typical for a kid's book, but raised up a level. So I'm wondering.
I think he took elements maybe that have been used a lot, like post-apocalyptic and all that, but I've never seen it put together here with animals, you know.
Yeah.
With anthropomorphic animals and
right, and especially
so I think that the sum of it all is much more original than all the little pieces, you know.
That's a good point. Right, the whole thing is quite an epic tale of survival, and even evolution. At the very end, we see evolution with them. I don't want to say what or how, so I don't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. What maybe do we have any suggestions for April's book? And this time I won't forget the night before that. Unfortunately, Larry reminded me last night that the book club was today, and I was like, "It's a 26th already." So
well, you said next Sunday, and I didn't know if you meant today or I thought it was worded odd if you meant tomorrow, you know. So that's why.
I'm so lucky that you were watching last night and mentioned it, because I have not. It hadn't occurred to me that this was the end of the month, even though my daughter's birthday is the 31st and is at the end of the week. I was like, Oh yeah, book club's next Sunday. Well, no, it's not next Sunday. If it was today. So yeah. Yeah, I hate humans. So I'm with you. So I
Me too.
definitely
Yeah, you're
I definitely
you're
felt
not
more
shocking us because we're there.
Yeah, I'm with you,
Yeah.
Daniel. I feel more emotions for the animal characters. That's true.
That's why I was kind of dreading that humans might pop up because I thought, oh man, they're going to be worse than any of these.
Oh yeah, they'll be like from Walking Dead type
Yeah,
guys.
roving bands, you know.
Yeah. Days of Sand. I've heard a lot of good things about this book. Forest Hills Bootleg Society. I don't know that one. I have Infinite Kung Fu, and my favorite thing is monsters. And we're going to continue the mouse theme with Mouse Guard. There's a lot of Mouse Guard books, though. Which one would you want to start with?
Yeah, I still feel like that these are good for one and dones and more accessible to more people, you know, that way. But
yeah. Oh, Light Brigade is good. Oh, Louisa is really good. Are two I would like to read for the club. Louisa's I really liked Louisa.
is that a
Carly
Western?
Second's my favorite thing is monsters. Have you read Louisa?
No. Is that a Western or what is that?
I think that Kristen's the one that told me about Louisa. It's hard to describe a girl. I have it in the other room and I haven't read it for a couple of years, but I think a young girl travels into the future and sees what her future self has become, and it's the story that unfolds from there. It's really well done. It's a humanoids book. I mean, I can go grab it and describe it. Why don't I do that? I'll because I think I have all my humanoids books. I'll take this with me. Just a sec. I'll take everybody with me.
Tour.
Okay. Oh, lights aren't even on in here. Let's see. Where are you, Louisa? Oh. I thought I had all my humanoid books together.
You can see here that Jess is the more valuable 35-cent variant.
Thank you. There's some. Well, I'm not as organized as I thought I was. I thought I could come right to where Louisa was. So is this the show where you and my dad review all the books we reviewed years ago?
Yes, this is the review show.
Yeah, Mark Wade learned about it from Kristen, actually. I believe when Kristen got engaged or whatever it was, and Mark was her Wade of honor, she told Mark Wade about it. Isn't that right, Kristen? This is funny. Coming soon, the Tea Dragon Society with Jess and Larry. That's right. We're the ones that told Kristen about it.
Right. Turned her onto that.
Well, now I'm having trouble figuring out where I would have put Louisa because
I have Carmen coming. I know you read and liked that.
I love Carmen.
I don't have it yet, but I have it coming.
Okay, we can put that in the. I mean, Louisa is a good book. I really liked it. I read Louisa. It's good, but not great. I think some of it was rushed, but it was a sweet story. Okay, well, I mean, we can do Louisa. We can do Carmen. That's a good suggestion, James. I feel like I'd rather wait until I know the 4th and 5th books are out in France, and I feel like maybe this is the year that they come to the US. course, that is a big long read. If I ask people to read 5 books,
Yeah.
Castle.
Do you want to carry over books that didn't get chosen on the last one and then add a new one to the vote, or have you thought about that?
That's right, Mr. Tex. I can't
Coming
read.
there. The same here, probably. So,
I mean, we could. What was the Keeping Two? Was that the one that?
yeah, that was and Darkroom. Darkroom was, I guess, going to be
Darkroom,
second, maybe.
Why don't we
I
pick?
mean, it's up to you, but we could keep them in there and then add a new one
Sure.
to the vote.
You want to add Carmen in with Keeping Two and Darkroom?
Sounds good to me. See what
Okay,
the chat
so
thinks, but
Carmen. Okay, I'll find because I think everybody now. I will say Carmen deals with a little bit of controversy because it opens not quite as bloody, but it has this opening similar to Mr. Miracle, where the story in Carmen is of a woman taking her life. She has a guardian angel that wants that's responsible for her.
and this is a complete done in one. Yes.
Yeah. And and there's a dust cover. Did you get the one with the dust cover? Do you know?
No, I don't think I did. I think I got the regular.
Okay.
I haven't got it yet, but I think the one I ordered is.
Oh, good. Rick Ray's got good taste. That's good. If you get the dust cover version, and I don't know how you get it, I feel like maybe a European friend of mine told me about it, because a European friend of mine told me about Carmen. It's by Guillaume March.
I got mine from IST, and I don't think they have just the one option. So
yeah, I only got the one option, but the dust cover. I think you can look online and find it. The reason I'm saying the dust cover for Carmen is that it has an extra little tiny story drawn in it on the dust cover, dust jacket rather.
Yeah, I'm just going off of the art that you showed of it, and you talking about it's made me want to read it. So
he's a fantastic artist, but I mean, I made it one of my top 10 books of last year. I loved it a lot.
Did Kristen read that one? Refresh my memory.
I
don't think she did she?
I don't know that I talked to Kristen about that. Kristen, are you still in the chat? Is this a book that I've read that you haven't read? Is that possible? Besides any Superman book.
See, because if it's something she hasn't read, she'll read it so she could come on here and argue with us. You know that, right? So that makes for good content. So,
It does. Oh, the dust jacket version was like a DM variant. I got mine at IST.
Ah, well.
Interesting. Okay.
We'll see which one I get. I don't know.
Okay. I don't remember where I got mine. I don't, because I found out after the fact that it was a dust jacket that had the story. Phantom Pool, how many panels is that story? Can you tell us real quick how many? Do you remember? It's like a little sequel to the main story, right?
Maybe we can all read that somewhere online. You think? Yeah,
I would think that if we Google dust jacket of Carmen, it'll probably pop up.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so we'll pick the 2 also rans from last month, and we'll throw in Carmen.
Okay, that sounds good.
I'll put that up today, and I'm going to wait to see if Phantom Fool. Oh, Phantom Fool. I always thought it was Phantom Pool. Sorry. Oh, with the dust jacket. Okay, that maybe it's been sold out for a while. I'm not going to buy a new version.
Right.
With dust jacket. Okay, I'm not going to buy a new version.
It's funny because we all hate dust jackets, and now we want one.
Right. I don't remember how many panels it was, not at home, but it was amazing. I see it's available on Gmart and TFAW. What's Gmart?
I don't know that one. I know TFAW.
Yeah, Tales from TFAW. Oh, but it was not amazing.
Okay.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting that. Okay, so everybody can just relax and get the regular version.
Just calm down.
Thank goodness we had that little correction before I ended the show. Not amazing. Okay, so I'll put up the poll. Thank you everybody for joining, and I'm glad everybody enjoyed Scurry. Thank you, Larry. Larry's Library. I have a link. Gmart is an online comic retailer out of Chicago. Oh, okay. No, that's no problem. I'm glad you got it in there. Yeah, the power of not. Larry's Library. I have a link in the description if you want to go there. He has a wide variety of great videos out there. He is also known as father of the Comic Slayer. And you can see the Comic Slayer Night this coming Saturday at 1. And I'll put the thank you to everybody who participated. And I will put
thanks for having me, Jess.
Yeah, thanks for being on, Larry. I appreciate it. And I am going to make sure. Okay, wait. Let's make sure that I get my dates right. The last Sunday of April is April 30th. Does that work for you?
Wait, is that up? Yeah, Sunday.
Okay, I'm going to put on there right now book club. So this time I don't forget. Book club. Okay, that'll be April 30th, the last Sunday of April. And I won't forget.
Cool. So everybody go vote in the poll again.
I'll put it up right after this.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Larry. It's great to see you. Thank you very much. And thanks, everybody,
for having me.
participating.
See you guys.